Hello. Welcome back to part 2. Kat's here today. Can say hello, Kat? Nope, she's not going to say hello. Jay's here as well, though. You can say hello, Jay.
Hello.
So this... Oh, that was a bit of a late squeak from the cat there. I have done a little bit of prep work, and I'll show you what I've done. I've kind of decided I want one of these to go on the side and 2 of them to go the right way up. So what I did on the previous tag, I don't know if you can see here, I added another piece of cardboard, but this time I didn't fill it because I wanted that kind of paper edge look. And I've cut this. This is about 3.5 inches by whatever that is, 4 centimetres. So it's 9 centimetres by 4 centimetres. And I've just added a piece of cardstock over the top of that. I didn't overthink it too much, really. This one, what this is I picked up this old tape measure, which was all frayed and ripped at the top. It had no thing on it, so I've put this in to try and make sure it doesn't go back in. But I'm just going to be using some of that. And what I did is I just mounted that on a piece of cardstock and then cut around that. And this one is, again, just mounted, piece of cardstock. This one's 11.5 centimetres or 4.5 inches by 5 centimetres, which is about 2 inches. So that's kind of my start. I have some bits cut out from the kit that Jess and I did. I've got some Tim Holtz pieces. This I just cut out of a piece of Tim Holtz cardstock with a circle punch. Now what I've done is some of these pieces I've mounted onto cardstock in preparation. There's a Tim Holtz ephemera clock. This was also cut out from that same sheet. I have cut a few dies from these 2 sets that are older sets, and they're just smaller, I think, than the new ones. I have a couple of Tim Holtz ephemera pieces. This is a butterfly. I've cut the antenna off because they just looked a bit pants, and I've used that blue, this one, weathered wood distress glaze to just go over that, because I've not done it on any of these pieces. It looks pretty cool. So I've got those. I've got a couple of little pieces from the Tim Holtz that we glazed yesterday. That one is not glazed. I've got a couple of photo corners. I've got a couple of these pieces. I've got loads of these somewhere, but who knows where they are. The first thing I wanted to do was just, because I haven't got any Tim Holtz cogs and things like that, but I've got these 3 that came out of a really cheap pack of charms from Amazon. So I'm going to have a little go. I've got, oh, that's not what I wanted. Sorry. Okay, this is what I wanted. Alcohol blending solution. I've got pitch black alcohol ink and these 3 pieces. So let's just see what happens. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, give this a go. We'll just see how this goes. This could really have been a whole nother video. I'm going to put some alcohol solution around here. Just make sure they're covered. I've got my tweezers, pretty tatty ones, so they're at the ready. I'm just going to see what happens. I've got no idea if this is going to work or not. Let me see if I've got a brown. This one's called Rosewood. It's not brown, but it's, you know, brownish. Yes. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this aside, and we'll see if we have any usable cogs later on. Okay, so the next thing I want to try is I have one of these really cheap wooden things. Again, these are from Amazon, and this is a Tim Holtz number. It comes in this set, and I've had these for like a million years and had no idea how I was going to use them, so I'm going to try and use them on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bit creative. This is, like I said, this might even end up being a 3-part video because it's going to take me a while. I've got my spatula and my crackle paste, and I'm just going to put a little bit of crackle paste on my wooden thing. I've not crackled this kind of thing before, so I don't know whether it's gonna work. Just gonna stick my little pokey tool in that hole, put it on top of a number. Right, I'm gonna give that a dry. Okay, that hasn't really crackled a huge amount, but we do have some texture on there, which I quite like. This is when I find out the number 9 doesn't fit. Yeah, it does. Just kind of goes over that hole a little bit. That's okay, I quite like that. I'm just trying to come up with some ideas of, you know, if you don't have these elements, how we can make elements ourselves. Okay, right, a little bit of brown paint. Way too much brown paint. Never mind. Take 2. I've got a couple of blue alcohol inks here. I'm just going to bring my mat back in. We can have a look at these. Ah, pretty cool. I think I might add a little bit of blue to those as well. I'm going to go in with a bit of blue. It's not very light, unfortunately. Kind of want to lighten this up a little bit. That's a bit of blue. That's still not light enough for me. I wonder what will happen if we just dab a little bit of this on. If I put some alcohol ink on, I don't know how it's going to react. Whether it will stick to the alcohol ink or not. So that's got a layer of alcohol ink, and then I went over with the oxide, and then I heat tooled it, which was a big mistake because it's bent the plastic. There we go, that's pretty much back in place. What I think I need to do to this is just seal it. So I'm going to use Collage Medium. Maybe this was a bit of a mistake, having a play with bits and pieces before I started the tags. Right, what I'm going to do on this is grab my gold. I suppose worst case scenario, I'm not actually going to use any of this, but who knows. Got to have a go, haven't you? Right. That looks much cooler than that though, doesn't it? Move that over there with my number and we'll see how they turn out. Now what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it fast and probably off camera, is I need to emboss all of these pieces. I don't know what I'm going to use as yet out of these, so I'm going to emboss these. I'm not going to bother with that other butterfly. If I use a butterfly, it'll be the blue one. It's good to kind of make sure all your prep work is done before you start doing anything else. Now I'm just going to come back to this number. That looks much better rather than that flat black, and hopefully that paste will sort that out. Now I'm going to use I'm going to use that again, I think, to stick this, because it is a glue. It is a glue. How good a glue, I do not know. Quite like that, and I've managed to rub a little bit of gold on that number 9 as well, so let's go with that and add a little bit more. And it started like that. Much cooler. So that's another little element we have. I'm just going to double check these. They actually look pretty good. Much nicer than that bright silver, although we've still got some silver showing. I know that's going to go on there somewhere. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of have a bit of a play around with the layouts on these. I'm going to speed this process up. Like I said, I've just got a few bits and pieces here, and I'm just going to see how it goes, really. I just know those two are going on there, and this is going on here. Okay, I am happy with the layout of these, and there's still quite a lot of prep and things to do. So what I'm going to do is work on one at a time. Now I'm going to do this one first, because this one is most similar and kind of based most on this one that I did before. So I'm going to put these two aside, and we're going to work on this one first. So this I have mounted, that's okay. Actually, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take a photo of that, so I don't forget how that goes. And now we're going to start layering up these pieces and prepping them. So I am going to need my inks. I don't want to damage these because they will go on to another project. So I've got my inks. This is obviously the first thing I will need. Those will be held in place with some brads. This we can move aside for now, because this is the piece we're going to be working on. Right, so I'm going to ink all of my pieces. So I've got my crackle paste. And I'm not going to do the other one until, because I haven't taken a photo of that. You can, if I will focus, you can see the crackles. Okay, so what I'm going to do with each layer is I'm going to actually go over it with clear gesso to kind of seal it and protect it a little bit. Now, obviously this is a Tim Holtz paper and these are Tim Holtz. These ones are printed, so they're going to run and bleed a little bit when I add the gesso, but that's fine. I don't mind that at all, and it might not actually be. You can see I've done that to the tag there. And it hasn't really done too much damage because that's a printed label. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to really make sure I've inked this edge. Oh, error. Just realised what I haven't done. Before I glue this down, I want to raise it, so if I can find a pair of scissors. So I've added this little pad, so it's going to be sitting a little bit proud of this piece, and I'm also going to need to add some cheesecloth that I'm going to use on that also. So I'm not going to glue that into place as yet, but these elements are ready for me to gesso. Love about it gives it that really kind of yellow aged look when you've inked first and then you go and gesso over it, because it kind of blends all that ink like it. Right, so this is not going to take very long to dry, and that bubbling will go down. I need to add some of the elements that I want into this now, so that's the smallest piece of cheesecloth in the world. Got a bit of cheesecloth here. So I'm going to have a piece on here, like so. I'm just going to add glue here, which will be behind that other element that I'm going to add, and just put that down there. like that. The other piece of cheesecloth I'm going to have will be underneath here when it's time to add that. So this is slowly drying. I'm now going to try and find 2 brads to go here. I think these are all pretty much the same, so that's cool. We could use 4 of the same. Right, so I'm gonna I'm not gonna overthink this. I'm just gonna take my awl and pop a hole in. Try and get them reasonably even. Push that through. Add these 2 brads. So they're good to go. Now I also added pads behind here and behind here, so we must remember to do that. I'm just going to glue this into place now. No, I'm not going to glue that into place at all. What I want to do is first, I mean, this is going to be glued straight onto here. So I think that's probably the next step, because what I need to do is add this into place before I attach these. So it's a bit of a logistical juggling exercise. Okay, so I'm gonna glue this down. Just grabbing some black. Just to see if I want that on here too. Okay. So I'm actually going to add some gold to my dragonfly, like I did on the bug on the other one. And I'm going to do that now. Take my awl, I'm going to go through there. So I'm just going to guesstimate where I want glue. Before I stick that down. This time I'm going to use a posh screw head brad. I need to make that hole bigger though, to get that in there. Get rid of those little bits of glue. So that was designed to go at that angle, which will leave our dragonfly not quite straight. I'm going to change that a bit. I only really need to glue this anyway. Need to hold this in place for a minute because it is going to move around if we're not careful. So, that looks quite cool. I think we've got a little bit too much cheesecloth hanging off there. Just going to put that. Right, so this is going to go onto here. But before we do that, just using another scrap of cardboard, because that can go underneath. I might need to make a piece a bit thicker actually. Okay, that's good. I'm just going to ink the edges in case it's seen from the side. And to start this drying. Okay, so that's now raised, this piece is raised on that, and then this piece will be raised on this. I'm liking how it's coming together so far. So now we have to decide, I'm just going to bring the tag back in for a moment. Are we going to put this on the bottom here, or are we going to put it up here? And I think I'm going to go down there, because this is going here, and that means I'm going to have some space here at the bottom. So I do want to have the crisscross cotton, or this is embroidery floss. So let's put that there. Actually, yeah, do I don't know. I might put it here. I think I'm going to go here, because if I put it in here, I will have to rely on, I'm going to see, not decided. Okay, so I'm just going to put a fair amount at the back and across there. Lining that up. So I just literally tie this, start my knot, and then tie a double knot, and then I use my awl to just hold that first knot in place when I tie in the second. If I'm happy with that, before I glue that at all, I'm just going to line these up again. That's definitely going there, but I want to move this up a little bit. This is a little bit low, and I'm just kind of not quite at this little roll in the paper, so that's absolutely spot on for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a little bead of glue along there and along here, and the same on the bottom. And then when that dries, that will be held into place quite nicely. So you can see we're taking quite a long time to create this first tag. And these for that. Right. While this glue is still wet, I'm actually going to add this piece of cheesecloth. This is dry, so I'm going to add this here, hold that in place while I make my holes. Okay, and then this one, I think we'll have it about here. So as you can see, that did move slightly. It shouldn't cause a problem though. I'm going to glue this panel. What will be a problem is if it moves once I've glued it onto the base. I'm going to go quite heavy with my glue here. I want this to stay put. I'll line it up. Hold that into place. These are now pretty sturdy, so I'm going to glue these into place, and this is the bit where I always kind of hold my breath. Now I'm going to go for Fabri-Tac again, but I think I might use a kind of combination. So I would, if I had hours and I wasn't showing you, I'd use my Gorilla Glue for these final tabs, because it is amazing glue, but it does take a long time to dry. Now, this is where you really need half a dozen hands. Right. That is our tag. Yay! I'm really happy with how it turned out. Kind of works perfectly with that one. So I have two more to make. What I'm going to do is I'll probably speed it all up, but I will slow down in certain areas where I think there's something I need to tell you about. And I'm going to put this aside now to dry. I'm going to work on this one next. I'm just going to take my photo. So, this one I want to glue onto this base bit, but that means I'm not going to be able to, I'm not going to put tabs in here, so I might use the string to hold this in place, but that's going to mean I'm going to have something on the back of this one, but I'm okay with that. Don't mind that at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to first of all open these up a tad, make sure I can get that on the corner of my, yeah, and I'm going to use art glitter glue because it's thin. I can get that in that hole. Well, this is supposed to stick metal. Whether I haven't put enough on, whether I haven't left it long enough, I don't know. I'm going to have to come back to that because I'm not happy that I've just messed up my piece. Ah. just a really small amount around here. So that's two done. I think I'm probably not going to film the third one because this is obviously taken a very long time, even speeding it up. So I'm going to move these two aside and bring in my third one. So you can see the kind of layout that I'm going for, and I will be back to show you what it looks like at the end. Okay, I am finished. I'm really happy with this one. Really happy. I love the number. Might have to make some more of those. I just need to find those little Scrabble tile things because there's some somewhere. So we have that one, this one, and this one. So it was a little bit more than I had planned on doing because I just planned on making one like this. But obviously we had these tag bases, so I thought I may as well get those used up. So I hope you got something out of this. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a great time making these, I have to say. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you again soon.